Hello everyone, I am here to present a brief bio of Arthur Asher Miller, whose play Death of a Salesman we are taking up for discussion. First of all, we will discuss a little bit about Arthur Asher Miller. Arthur Asher Miller was born on October 17, 1915 in the Harlem quarter of Manhattan in a Jewish middle-class family, and he died on 10th Feb 2005. He was a playwright and essayist. His major works are All My Sons, Death of a Salesman, The Crucible, A View from the Bridge, and awards he received for his works are Pulitzer Prize, Kennedy Center Honors, Premium Imperial, Jerusalem Prize. Here comes the early life of Arthur Asher Miller. As we know that Arthur Asher Miller born in Jewish middle class family. He was passionately in love with sports like football and hockey. Besides, as he says, he loved to fool around a great deal. The crisis plunged everybody's life into the dark abyss of uncertainty and created unemployment, shutdown of factories and waves of workers' strike. Arthur Miller's father also felt the brunt of crisis as his business suffered and he was forced to move to Brooklyn with his small son, who is Arthur Asher Miller. Arthur graduated from high school in 1932 with an ordinary score, which prevented him from joining the University of Michigan. As a result, he worked in auto parts warehouse, which he didn't like. Like Tennessee Williams, who had perforce to work in a shoe factory and became desperate to get out of it because he wanted to become a writer. Miller also found out that he wished to study. When he had saved enough money to pay for his college admission fees, he joined the University of Michigan. He saved the money from National Youth Administration and his own part-time job in newspaper. And during these years of intense struggle, he got a good exposure of social realities, which he indeed used in his plays. Now we will discuss the career of Arthur Asher Miller. Arthur Miller began to write plays while at the university. At that age, he had made little acquaintance with the actual theatre and the method of producing plays. He himself confesses in a 1966 interview with Olga Carlyle and Rose Tyron that he had no idea how many acts should a play have and how long one act takes. Yet he produced a play called The Man Who Had All the Luck, which was staged in Broadway Theatre in 1944. It didn't receive much congenial review and was attended by a lukewarm responses from the audience. Miller had launched himself into the theatre career. He was one of those dramatists who saw the essential connection between the individual anxieties of a person and his or her psychological conflicts, deriving their intensity and significance from the context of the social life. In 1940, his play, The Man Who Had All the Luck, was produced and exhibited in New Jersey. The play received the Theatre Guild's National Award. The play did not run for a long time and closed down after few performances. In 1946, All My Sons became a Broadway success. He received a Tony Award for the Best Author category for this play. This play established him as a well-known playwright. In 19 1948, Miller constructed a small studio for himself. He started writing Death of a Salesman. In 1949, his Death of a Salesman was performed at the Moscow Theatre and became an instant commercial success. This play became one of the classics in the literature. Miller received a Tony Award and Pulitzer Prize and the New York Drama Circle Critics Award for it. In 1953, Miller's The Crucible was performed at the Neck Theatre. It was also made into an opera. In 1956, A View from the Bridge was performed on the Broadway. It was a verse drama by Miller and it opened along with one of his other plays called A Memory of Two Mondays. In 1964, his play After the Fall was produced. The play is said to have Miller's personal experiences from his tormenting marriage. And in 1968, he wrote a play called The Price, which became his most successful play after a very long time after the success of Death of a Salesman. Now we will discuss that how radio plays influenced Arthur Asher Miller. Arthur Miller soon became a committed dramatist and he felt that the restrictions imposed by the networks and advertising agencies produced a most undesirable effect on the arts. In 1947, he wrote in preface to one of his radio plays, I would like to quote, "No medium of expression can fulfill itself, its forms and its content are prescribed beforehand. There is so much you can't say on the radio for a serious writer it presents a blank wall." Unquote. The radio plays of Arthur Miller may not possess dramatic merit of a high order, but they are significant from the point of view of showing his concern as a social dramatist. The radio plays influenced the dramatic technique of Miller's nature plays, in which he was absorbed with the problems which realism did not solve in a satisfactory manner. These are problems of how to arrange more broadly through time and of how to probe more deeply into the mind that the normal stage drama allows. Without wishing to curtail the objectivity of realism, he had tried to combine with it some of the subjective strength that can be found in various non-realistic manners like that of the dream play on expressionism. Miller's reputation as a writer of radio plays made him so eminent that he was employed by a movie produced to visit army camps. Arthur Miller had worked for some time with the Federal Theatre Project, which was a creation of the Depression for him. Depression years undoubtedly caused him to look closely into their impact on family ties, mutual trust, and mental health of the individuals. He saw families crumbling under the sense of insecurity, the fear of an unknown future, creating an acute dissatisfaction with the present society to urge to change it. Arthur Miller and a few other writers of that period had the crisis of that period deeply embedded in their minds. They just couldn't forget the horrifying changes it wrought upon individual lives. All My Sons and Death of a Salesman depict this trauma touchingly. In 1964, Arthur Miller wrote After the Fall, considered to be an autobiographical work with the father-son theme repeated again. He used stream of consciousness technique in this play which helps us gain a view into the tortured soul of protagonist Quentin. Miller was often in the public eye, particularly during the late 1940s, 1950s, and early 1960s. He won the Pulitzer Prize for Death of a Salesman, and in the 1990s, Miller received the National Medal of Arts and Laura Pels International Foundation for Theatre Award for being the best American dramatist. He was also awarded the Dorothy and Lillian Gish Prize. In 1980, he received the Saint Louis Literary Award. The Premium Imperial Prize he received in 2002 and Jerusalem Prize he received in 2003. That's all. Thank you.